Coming up in the news, a man accused of murder on the Interpol watch list. Hear what the victim's family had to say. Also, Grand Bahama Utility Company rolling out a new meter that is expected to benefit consumers. And a special message from the Governor General of the Bahamas in honor of a centenarian. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Wolf-Arkus, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, it was a story first brought to you by Zadanas Northern Service of a man who allegedly killed his girlfriend, received bail within 6 months, outfitted with an ankle monitoring bracelet, and was never to be seen after cutting it off his leg. Now, Owen Roll, the cousin of Monet Darville, a young woman killed in 2019, says the man believed to be responsible for her death is now on the Interpol watch list. Kenrick Hanna has now made the Interpol list. The red notice has now put law enforcement authorities around the world on alert of the man who allegedly brutally stabbed his then-girlfriend, 30-year-old Monet Darville, to death in September 2019. His face, fingerprints, and passport photo is now accessible to police around the world. Cousin Owen Roll says he is finally feeling hopeful.
Of course, I have faith that it would happen and he would be caught, because I know that God is the ultimate judge. But to know that you have police officers and a judicial system that is not working or not helping, that became very discouraging. So I was hopeless in that aspect. But now that they are actually doing what they said that they would have done, it gives me, a sign of hope.
But he says his disappointment comes after Hanna was given bail in Nassau just 2 months after he was charged with Darville's murder. According to ZNS News sources, bail was granted to the suspect in this case because he was believed to be confined to a wheelchair. This after he jumped from a second-story building, threatening to take his own life shortly after the murder occurred. He appeared before court in a wheelchair and was considered a reduced risk to abscond. However, the family also presenting videos to ZNS News to prove that the accused murderer was walking without his wheelchair. Roll says he is comforted by this Interpol red notice after Hanna was only on a blue notice after skipping bail. Now that Interpol has placed Hanna on a watch list, the question still remains, where in the world is Kenrick Hanna?
And so it ranges from Canada, it ranges to Haiti, even America, Jamaica, and those are the ones that I've been hearing. He's been in Atlanta, he's been in New York, and some of those places he has told people that he's been there.
Hanna was outfitted with an ankle monitoring bracelet and was supposed to sign in at the police station as per his bail requirement. But according to Roll, his shorters say that they have no idea where he is. Grand Bahama Police put out a wanted bulletin, but that has yet to happen in New Providence, where he was granted bail. Roll says this brings into question how a man with an ankle monitoring bracelet can tamper with it and disappear without officials realizing it right away.
He had the ankle monitor. He left their home for some 2 weeks before they got a call saying that they were looking for him. And so there's a space of 2 weeks that these people had not seen him and they had no clue where he was. So if they are monitoring these...
They as in the police.
Yeah. If the police are monitoring these criminals, why can't they give an account for their location, or why is there that absence of what happened, where they were? It was my understanding, I thought these monitors beep, or if you stay out too late, they would call, or if you're not at this particular address where it's registered that you live, that's a problem, that's a breach. But clearly in Kenrick's case, there was never an alarm.
He says the photo used on the wanted bulletin is also an outdated picture and has provided this latest shot of wanted suspect Kenrick Hanna. He is hopeful that Hanna will be in the hands of police soon. Meantime, police have confirmed that wanted suspect, 25-year-old Koliqua Trishelle Andrews, has been questioned and released. Andrews, a resident of Clark Avenue, is wanted by officers of the Criminal Investigations Department on the charge of stealing. A bulletin for her arrest was issued last week. Switching gears now, the Grand Bahama Utility Company investing in an upgrade of its equipment. Officials say the smart meter installation program will commence in the Western District this Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Utility Relations Supervisor Anastasia Ramming says they are excited to roll out the new meters and notes that it will be beneficial to consumers.
The smart meters are advanced technology. It will allow us to have efficiency in reading. It would allow us to have remote access, and it also mitigates the need to estimate bills. There will be interruptions of about 30-minute intervals whilst we change out the old meters to our new smart meters. We would like to encourage our customers to help execute this program by allowing our crew members to have access to the meters, to remove all debris from around the meters, and also to secure your dogs if you have dogs.
Now, officials are giving the assurance that the upgrade will come at no additional cost to consumers.
The Smart Meter Upgrade Program is a part of our asset management program where we are able to take this information and put it into our GIS system, and from there we are able to run simulations that will determine whether or not a meter needs to be changed out in the future. Currently we have all old meters, and so this process needed to take place, and so we're taking advantage of it now and changing out all old meters to new smart meters.
In other news, the role of women being highlighted and applauded in the system of local government. Following the January 27th local government elections, scores of women were elected to serve their respective communities, and many were elected to top positions. Tonight, the former Minister for Local Government says local government is evolving and he's looking forward to women making a difference.
He was instrumental in the establishment of local government back in 1996. Former Cabinet Minister David Thompson says it is exciting to see the number of women who have been elected to serve in local government, especially in leadership roles. There are 2 women at the helm of the City of Freeport Council. The deputy chief in West Grand Bahama is female, as well as the deputy in the Sweeting Ski District. Females also dominate the councils in Abaco as well as Bimini. The former local government minister congratulating those who have offered to serve and those who succeeded in winning.
It seems to me as if more and more women are vying for leadership in their communities as a result of local government elections, and that is bound to bring out strong, positive results for all of the communities in Grand Bahama and the Family Islands.
Now, across the islands, officials have noted that there was low voter turnout. However, Thompson says he doesn't believe that this means that the system needs improvement. Instead, he admits that it is important to educate communities on how vital it is to have local government and elected local government representatives.
And I believe that with local government going forward, we should see the opportunity for those who are in administration, in leadership, who are in the professions in leadership, and who are in community service in leadership, step to the fore and be a part of the educational process that allows for all our citizens, wherever they live in our Family Islands, to appreciate what local government does and how important it is.
Thompson says he believes that all 32 districts would have seen the benefit of local government since it was implemented.
Particularly as it relates to natural disasters, to hurricanes and the aftermath of hurricanes, to the dealing with graveyards and verges and cleanup of communities, and dealing with the health and the sanitation of where they live. It is a natural progression for these women now to step forward and to provide the leadership that we need particularly as it relates to moving local government forward.
Thompson congratulating the minister responsible for local government, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, for the work he is doing, and he's encouraging all residents to work together with their representatives to create better communities. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Meanwhile, educational officials say schools on Grand Bahama will be back to face-to-face classes on Monday. Getting students to sign on to virtual classes over the past several months created a bit of challenges for some public schools. But tonight there is a bit of good news as there were some success stories. Sabrina Brown reports.
Language arts teacher at the 8 Mile Rock High School, Shalinka Forbes, had perfect attendance online with 2 of her senior classes. Forbes says she kept in contact with her students as communication is key.
I was able to get majority of my students to come in by reminding them of their purpose in life and reminding them what it is that God has planned for them, and the fact that we need people to be dependent on this generation to be the future success. So that's how I was able to just keep them motivated, keep them inspired.
Claire Barr teaches computer and business studies. She's also boasting of 100% attendance in some virtual classes.
My grade 11 keyboarding and office procedure, they were there, like I said, with 100% attendance. And I think it's because of my mindset, and they know that as a teacher we can be, friends, but when it comes to work, they like to work, and I like to challenge my students. So I think they were there every day, and even if they did not see me on the portal, they would send me an email, Ms. Barr, but I don't see you on the portal. So I would say, well, we haven't challenged getting on or whatever.
Barr believes it was her creativity that kept many of her students interested in logging on.
I did a lot of Kahoots, and they loved the Kahoots, right? So whenever we finish a chapter, I would go and I would make my own Kahoot, and I would go and make my own live worksheet, and they love that. Kahoot is a game that is online. You can go and make up your own, or you have, if you go to kahoot.it or kahoot.com, you have to log in as a member or as a teacher. And I would go on and I would do some true and false, some multiple choice, and then you would have puzzles. You can also do puzzles, and it's a time something. And the fun about it is you can have the correct answer, but it's the person who put the answer in first. The fastest gets the most points.
Vice Principal Coral Johnson says there were other teachers who had perfect attendance as well, and she is proud of their accomplishments. The school is now in hybrid mode and will return fully face-to-face next week.
So far it's working very good, because as you can see, our campus is very large, and so we don't have an issue with the social distancing. We're able to space them out very well. We have our janitorial staff that go into the rooms and do their sanitizing. We also supply each classroom with the sanitizer and towels so that they can sanitize after every group leave the room. And then we also have the sanitizing where they sanitize as they enter the rooms. So we try our best to keep the environment safe and healthy so that we can function.
Johnson says they are excited to welcome all students back to campus on Monday. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.